Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to the second trimester in third grade in art class. In this session, we're going to see a little bit about what we see in the last trimester. We're going to have what we call a review in order for you to get your ideas of the last trimester done. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and let's see the presentation together. Okay, so this is first of all, I'm going to show you our understanding goal for this trimester. This is our understanding goal for this trimester. The idea of this is that you are going to copy it on your art books, or if you don't have your art books, you're going to copy it on a paper, okay? And then you're going to save that paper in a safe place, okay? So this is the understanding goal. I'm going to read it. I will develop understanding through the application of two techniques of conceiving the face and the human body, taking as a reference the characteristics of the works of Pablo Picasso and Fernando Botero, to broaden my artistic baggage and find my own way of expressing and representing the human figure. So the idea, guys, is that you are going to copy this understanding goal. So pause the video until you copy it. Until you copy it, you can put play again and we're going to continue. So start copying the understanding goal. Pause it and copy it. Okay, guys, so as we were saying before, I'm going to have with you a little review. This is the review that I wish to have with you. This is what we saw the first trimester. This is the first thing that we saw together first trimester, the first concept. So it was the concept of portraits. I think it's clear now, but anyway, I'm going to review it. Portrait is what? It's a painting, a drawing, or a picture of a person's face. In this case, I choose the famous Harry Potter. So Harry Potter in this over here, as you can see, is the same image. It's the same portrait, but is done in different techniques. So in this one is the photo, the picture. In this one is the drawing, the sketch. And in this one is, as you can see, is the painting. We saw also the characteristic of the portraits. So in this case, we have the person's face, we have what we call a background, which is all this. Background is all this. And normally a painting of a portrait is up to here, from head to half a body. Head to half a body, okay? One of our main references for the last trimester was Amedeo Modigliani. I think if you see these paintings over here, you will remember. Amedeo Modigliani, a very famous Italian artist. He was very famous for doing portraits, and most of them were women. So remember that we saw together the characteristics of these portraits. We're going to see it again. First characteristic, the very, very large neck in all of these women. Very large faces, very oval. Very long noses in all the cases. Very small mouths. You see it? Remember this. Another important characteristic is these dark eyes. They are very weird, and they remind us the African masks. Very thin eyebrows. So this is the characteristics of the paintings, and as you can see, the backgrounds are very gray, blue, and there are not such a vibrant colors. Amadeo Modigliani is an artist that is very feminine. It represents femininity in all his paintings. Now we're going to see our next artist reference, who is Leonardo da Vinci. So Leonardo da Vinci, very important, great, famous, important artist. He was Italian from the province of Vinci. Vinci was the place that he was born. That's why he has the name of the place, Leonardo from Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci. As you can see, Leonardo da Vinci was a very famous artist. He was part of a movement called Renaissance in Italy. Leonardo da Vinci was what we call an autodidact. Autodidact is a person that never went to school, and he was learning from itself. Nobody taught him something. So Leonardo da Vinci was an autodidact, and he was most of the time learning from observation. He was observing nature. He was observing human body, how human body worked, how he moved, the anatomy of human body, the proportions of human body. He was observing nature, the phenomena of nature. So that's why Leonardo da Vinci learned and become an autodidact. And he also was a genius. So over here, we have one of his most important and iconic paintings. I think this one over here, the Mona Lisa, is the most iconic and important painting in humanity. No matter the country of the person, everybody knows this painting. So it's something very beautiful about this painting over here, about the Mona Lisa, is that it's very mysterious and enigmatic. One thing about the Mona Lisa is that it doesn't matter where you move. If you move over here or you move over here, you're going to have the sensation that the painting is seeing right at you. It doesn't matter where you are, here or here, the painting is seeing right at you. Over here, I put also one of his most iconic paintings as well. This one over here is called The Last Supper. And The Last Supper is about Jesus that is in the middle of the table, and he has his last supper with his 12 disciples before Judas betrayed him. Leonardo da Vinci was also a great and famous inventor. He was a genius. So over here to remind you, I put some of the inventions of him. Leonardo da Vinci was a person that was obsessed with birds. He loved birds, and by observing them all the time, he got to the conclusion that he would like to see humans flying as birds. So over here, I put this drawing of Leonardo da Vinci. He is the original drawing. of him. And as you can see, it's the first attempt, it's the first design of somebody, of a human person that resembles an airplane. He's the first person that has this impossible dream of humans flying. So in this attempt, the intention was that a person got into this machine and by movement was able to move the wings of the machine and able to fly as a bird. But as I said before, it was an attempt, un intento. His obsession with birds was also reflected in this one over here. As you can see, this is the first design, the first attempt of a parachute. Okay. This one over here is the first attempt of a tank. Even though Leonardo da Vinci is a genius and he didn't like wars, he thought that wars were not getting anywhere, he did this invention, a tank of war. He also was obsessed with water. So he created what we call a swimming suit. So this is for humans to go underwater like fish and not die in the attempt of. And over here we have a bridge. So Leonardo da Vinci also created the first attempt of a bridge. So it's super important, a super genius. And I really hope that you like it and you learn from the videos that I put you. Okay, because we saw Leonardo da Vinci and Amadeo Modigliani, who were painters and artists that focus very much in the symmetry and human faces. So we see together the concept of symmetry, which is when an object looks the exact same on one side as the other. To see if an object is symmetrical, you draw a line dividing an object to show a perfect match on each side. It's making a mirror image. So we saw symmetry together. Remember that we did a little exercise at the beginning of the year in which you did have to do a circle and then you did a line dividing in exact places the circle. And you did in one side, you did a face, and then you had to do the other part of the face in the other side, but exactly the same as the first part, as the first side. So this is examples of symmetry, geometrical figures, or maybe also a butterfly also can be symmetrical. Remember, guys, that we also did a little mandala as an exercise of actual symmetry. We also saw symmetry of the face, as I was saying before, because symmetry of the face is very important because we're seeing Leonardo da Vinci and Modigliani, who were persons that get this concept in all his paintings. We also did remember that in the virtuality, I did a small video showing you how to do a proportion of the face. Remember that to do a proportion of the face symmetrical, first you have to do the face. Remember that faces are oval, then you have to do divide in the exact sides by half. And then you have to do the first line, which is going to be the line for the eyes, one line that is going to be the line for the nose, and one line that is going to be the line for the mouth. And these are a little bit the proportion of the face. You see, it's the eyes over here. The nose is a little bit under, it's a little bit longer, and very next to the mouth. We did a portrait. You did a portrait with me in an exercise, and then you did as a final exercise in the 3rd grade. In the 1st trimester, you did a portrait of yourselves. In this session, we're going to see the concept of asymmetry. We already see symmetry. We're going to see asymmetry because it's an important concept that we have to see in this trimester. So I'm going to explain a little bit what is symmetry all about. It's very simple. It's exactly the opposite of symmetry. This is a symmetry tree. Yes, you can see the shape, symmetry, perfect. Asymmetry will be exactly the opposite. So if you have this side, the other side is going to be completely different, okay? So if, for example, in this case, you see triangle, symmetrical. This figure, symmetrical. In this side, asymmetry is the triangle is very different one side from another. And this figure has one more. You see, it's not 4, it's have one more over here. So when you divide it, it's completely what? Asymmetrical. And the last example over here, you have a Christmas tree, a pine tree. So it's completely symmetrical. In this case, asymmetry will be like this, the pine tree and this. It's similar, but it's not similar. It's different. So guys, I would like very much if you do an exercise of asymmetry as the one we did with symmetry. But in this case, you're going to do it asymmetrical. So remember that something like this we did at the beginning of the trimester. Yes? We're going to do an asymmetrical exercise. So I would like you to do in your paper, a circle of a face, and then you're going to divide it in 2, yes? And in one side, you're going to do one part of the face, and in the other, you're going to maybe do it a little bit asymmetrical. So one eye can be not at the same level, the eyebrow has to be maybe bigger, the nose can be different in the other side, and as well the mouth. So take your time to do this exercise, and when you finish, you're going to do this. When you finish the exercise of the asymmetrical face, you're going to see a short video that I put in the drive, the other video that I put in the drive that is about Pablo Picasso. Who is Pablo Picasso? Is our reference for the 1st trimester. Is a very famous Spanish painter, Spanish artist. And you're going to see a little bit about an introduction about his life and work. Okay, so the video, and we're going to do the exercise of the asymmetrical face, and we are going to see each other in the next class. I hope you like and understood this video. Bye guys. Big hug to everybody.